I literally quit my job with no plan. It probably don't make sense to some people, but I know it'll make sense to you. If you clicked on this video, you probably have been feeling the urge to leave your job, even if you don't have a plan. Why did I leave my job with no plan? I woke up one day and I literally felt it in my soul. And it had been a journey with me trying to stick with the position that I was in. I knew that it was something new. And God, along the way, God did tell me that the job was teaching me things that I needed to learn that would be lucrative for future opportunities, right? And that's something that kept me going, right? No matter how hard it got. But literally on a Wednesday morning, I was good Monday, I was good Tuesday. But on a Wednesday morning, I felt it in my soul. God was telling me it's time to go. Literally, it's time to go. My mental health and my emotional health and even my physical health, like my health period, my well-being was what's the word? Deteriorating. Like it was so imbalanced. It was crazy. And sometimes you may seem like people would care about, your health and your well-being, but you're the only one who has to take control of that, and you the one who got to make decisions to make sure that your emotional, mental, and physical health is good. And that was one of the things that was affected like heavily. And the day that I left, the day that I resigned, like I didn't consult with nobody but God. I know I talked to my my pops last Friday, and like I told him what was going on because I was led to ask him for help, but we'll talk about that later on. But and he was just like, "You ain't call and ask somebody before you make that decision?" No, I called on God. I talked to God. God was telling me to trust him. And that has been one of the biggest lessons that I've been learning the past few weeks. That was day one of learning how to trust God. I was on my knees. I was crying because it's just like I was scared. I was like, what am I gonna do? Like if I quit today? Like if if I resign, where's my money gonna come from? Who gonna pay my bills? Rent is due today. So it's just like I was scared, but I decided to take that trust fall with God. And I'm still learning how to trust God. It's an everyday process. And I will say, ever since I got my first tarot deck, and I've every time I've asked about my purpose, the justice card has always come out. No matter like if it's pertaining to my purpose in my career, justice, justice, justice. It always come out. And so I'm gonna just say this: when it comes to a work environment, if there is no justice, I can't fucking be there. If I feel like some people can deal with that. Some people can deal with, oh, ain't nothing I can do for you, Mr. or Mrs. Customer. I'm sorry that we took $1,400 out of your bank account and something that we can do about it. We just gonna have to submit a request and hit you up 7 to 10 business days later. Like, oh, I'm sorry that we can't honor a request. Like, it's just simple things, little things. I mean, that would slowly show me this is not a place of work where I can have integrity, where I can do what I know is right. I have to be up under somebody else's rules and it does not align with my morals and my values. And we're gonna leave it at that. Okay. That's something that was eating me up. It was on my conscience. They say don't take work home. Leave it at work. I couldn't do that because my purpose is justice. I can't sleep at night knowing that it's something that they could have did, like, and it's nothing, and it's not on the customer's it's not the customer's fault. Like in situations that are pertaining to people's livelihood. So it's just like I can't do that. Like if I'm gonna be doing any type of work in the world, it's gonna be to help people, not to ruin their life. Okay. But anyway, so no, I did not console anybody. God told me to trust him, and it was hard, but that was my first day of learning how to trust God, because I've always had faith in God. Don't get me wrong. I've always had faith in God. That's why I've continued to consult him throughout my turmoil at jobs, period, or in life, period. But when it's something big like that, especially like when you see how the physical look, and sometimes what God is telling you to do, it don't sound logical. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what? Those are indications that you don't really have your trust in God yet, and that's fine. As long as you have faith in God, that's the first step. But learning how to trust God, it's like God is teaching me the one of the biggest lessons that I've been through in my life, to learn how to trust him and to not depend on anything outside of him. So, or her, however you want to address God. I know we like conditioned to say him or her, but yeah. Can't consult anybody but God. And even with me making this video, right? Boom. A couple months before, like I had been getting like videos on my like For You page, whatever, about people leaving a job, and some people, they have success stories or whatever. But you go to their page, they already got like hella followers. Like, like people, it makes sense why you quit. Like you got to back up. But like those people that literally God told you to leave somewhere that has been providing you stability in the middle of it, like what do you mean? So I was seeing like guys telling you do this, God telling you do that type of videos or whatever. But even though I was seeing those videos, like yes, I see it as a way that God was trying to put something on my mind. But no matter what video you see, you need to always consult God first, okay? Because God could be, of course, leading you somewhere, like, or he put that up on your path for you to see, but you still need to consult God before you make any decisions. After I resigned, I didn't tell anybody but my sister for like 2 weeks probably. And my sister actually congratulated me because she knew that like I was stressed the fuck out. Like she knew I was stressed out. Like, but yeah. And so my sister congratulated me. I didn't tell my mama, even though it's just like, what she gonna do? Hell, we all grown. Another lesson throughout these, what, 3.5 weeks of being unemployed and having no financial income. If God tells you to move, you move. If God tells you to be still and know, you be still and you know. Because I have tried to do certain things in regards to money for the past 3 weeks, and each time God has said no. And I'm like, what do you mean no, God? I'm trying to make sure that I can provide for myself. And for a while, like God had been telling me, like, it's not your battle to fight. And I'm like, what battle is not my battle to fight? Like, what are you talking about? Like, this is my life. And it probably don't make sense to most people, but literally, it's not my battle to fight. It's not my battle to fight, to try and go and, oh, let me go here and do this for some money. Let me do this for some money. Let me do this for some money. Like that, each thing, like it just wasn't the route. It's not the route that God want me to go. And dealing with that is hard, because it's just like, it seems like a good solution, but it's just like if God said no, then it won't, it's not gonna work out. And so, and that's another thing with trusting God, because we be trying to move, be trying to like, because we just be thinking on in our from our human mindset, and it's just like, nah, that ain't the way. Because it makes sense to us, like, why wouldn't I go do this for money? But it's just like, if that's not the path God wants you to go, then it's not gonna work out. So like literally I remember um doing Uber Eats, right? I did Uber Eats for a few days, and usually my phone bill, it'll like T-Mobile, they'll send me a message like two days before and be like, "Hey, your bill is due on this day." Da da da. I didn't get the message because I was thinking because I paid my bill a little late last month, so like maybe it was giving me a different billing cycle. I never got the fucking message. I woke up the next morning to go do Uber Eats again. My fucking phone off. My phone is off. How am I supposed to do Uber Eats? How am I supposed to do Uber Eats, God? I was gonna go do Uber Eats so I can make some more money to pay my phone bill. But they didn't even send me the message to let me know when it was due. So I'm thinking I'm waiting on the message and I'm getting ahead of it by okay, let me go do this so I can. They never sent me the message. The only message they sent me that morning was your phone is off. That's it. And I'm just like, oh my God, what in the world? And it's crazy because if you pay attention to the signs, I'm not gonna get too deep into what the signs was, but based off the signs and what God had been showing me before, it was like literally divinely guided for it to happen that way. So God put me in a position to where I can't do nothing but internal work and record. It has been 3 weeks and I have not. It has been on my heart to get on YouTube and talk about this, like what I'm actually going through, but I have not done it. And I want to cry right now, but whew, I want to cry right now, but I'm not. And no, I don't have makeup on, y'all. This is a fresh face with nothing but moisturizer, serum, all that good stuff. I had to change the subject so I won't cry. But yeah, anyway, so ah, my testimony, y'all. And I don't even know if this helps. If you going through the same thing, like just trust God. And I know it's hard. Like I'm literally telling you, I have no financial income right now. All I have is Wi-Fi and a phone right now. That's it. And God has been I've been doing the internal work and I've been like, well, where's the financial income? But I've been getting a lot of spiritual income these past 3 weeks. What I mean by that, God has been teaching me how to trust him. That's something you need. You gotta trust God. Number two, I didn't realize that I was somebody who has pride. And it's not something that I decided that, I'm gonna be a prideful person. It was connected, it is connected to or was because we working on that. It was connected to a childhood trauma that I still hadn't healed. What's that childhood trauma? That childhood trauma is the fact that I don't like asking people for help. I could be down on my last and I will not ask nobody for help. The song that kept coming up on my shuffle was Pride is the Devil for the past few months. And for the life of me, I could not understand like why is this song coming up? Like I don't have pride. Like I'm pretty. Like I have humility. Like I have pride when it comes to this one particular thing. Asking for help. And it could be in regards to anything. It's like God put me in a position to where I could not do anything but ask for help. That's what I feel like. But so God led me to be in a position to where I felt like I needed to ask somebody for help. And this particular person I asked for help is somebody who played a big part in creating my trauma when it comes to asking for help. Definitely a parent that I used to ask for things when I was young. I would call and ask him for stuff, and it's like I would get this response that made me feel like, well, damn, I can't ask you for nothing. We're not gonna really get deep into that, but that's as far as back as I can go when it comes to that trauma. Like surrounding not wanting to ask people for help out of pride or shame, whatever the case is, when it comes to me. But it's crazy because I recently found out a couple months ago that my granny has the same issue. So it's a generational thing, right? But somebody gotta keep it going. So it's like my dad was kind of like something that um was somebody who like kept that trauma going with me, whether he know it or not. God bless. Anyway, so God put me in a position to where I had to. I felt like, oh hey, let me call him because like God was literally like I'm literally trying any way to put myself in a position to where I don't have to call and ask him for anything. I tried that. I tried a few different financial outlets or whatever financial incomes that did not work. And last Friday, God put it on my heart to call him. And I was expecting a lecture. Like I was expecting that. But was I what I wasn't expecting is to be told that I always call and ask for stuff when he has tried to help put me on to like different businesses and stuff. But I ignore him. But now I want to call and ask him for help. Sir, I never call you and ask you for anything. Have you forgotten? And this is also somebody who has said out of their mouth, clear, like, right, like, out of their mouth, Temp, I know you don't like to ask for stuff. Just call and ask me if you need something. Let me know if you need something. And I never do up until now, right? But anyway, before I called him, I'm like, okay, this must be the solution to my problem, right? But no, it was deeper than that. God led me to call him so that I could face the fear of asking for help, so I could literally like punch motherfucking pride in the face, cause bitch, get away from me. But yeah, like that was hard. That was so hard. Like I couldn't. Like that was just thinking about it. Just like oh my god. But yeah, like I that was very hard for me to call and ask for help. Like especially him. Oh no, I can't believe I did that, but I did it. And yeah, we got past that. I'll might be able to give you an update on that. I don't know. I haven't talked to him since, but I just been in my word. I just been praying. I just been trying to be obedient because a lot of the times that my blessings don't come in when like, when they supposed to or at a timely manner, whatever you want to call it, is because I realized that I have delayed a lot of my blessings or like God is always on time, don't get me wrong, but I know that I could delay the process or I can think that God hasn't answered me or he hasn't gave me clarity, but he just be like asking me to do stuff, like take this step and then I can take this step. Like you do this and then I can do this. And then it's a lot of the times it may not make sense because it's not changing nothing on the physical. But oh my God, the internal work that is needed for the blessings that we be asking for. And I just feel like that's what I'm going through right now, the internal work and the healing so that I can get to a position and actually be in alignment with that new chapter, with those new blessings that I know that's coming to me. And like I said, people probably like, why would you quit your job without a plan? Because God told me to. Let me tell you, let me tell you, my last days of working at that job, I was on the phone with a lady. God is amazing. I'm going to tell you that. I was on the phone with her and she was I don't know what we was talking about. But her daughter, I could hear her daughter come to her. She was like, "Mom, look." Basically, her daughter was showing her that she had literally made 800 something dollars on TikTok. And I'm just a customer service representative listening to the mom and the daughter have a little conversation over the phone. And I'm like, oh my God, like I'm smiling big. Like I'm so happy. I don't even know these people, but I was just so happy for her. And that was God's way of saying, like, this is something that, you know what I'm saying, that you could be doing. You know what I'm saying? Because I know you at this job and you don't like it. And really not even supposed to be here. But this is something that's possible for you. You feel me? Oh, God is amazing. It like it wasn't even my daughter, and I was just so happy for her. Like, oh my God. But yeah. And like I heard her saying, like, oh, I need you to put your card information, your bank information or something in. Like, oh my God, like that shit was real. I was like, dang, like I was really witnessing like a beautiful moment. Like that's what's up. So right now, I know yesterday I felt like my life was crumbling because it feels like certain things or certain directions you try to go in, it's just not working. And that's because that direction is it's like a dead end. So you can no longer go that way. You gotta go a whole new way now. It's crazy. But I do wanna give some Bible verses that has been helping me. 2 Corinthians chapter 2:14, Jeremiah 7:27, John 15:16, Psalm 62, and what else was it? Oh yeah, Psalm 130 verse 6. What else was it? It's more. But yeah, and when I give y'all these, please read the whole chapter. Like read the if I give you chapter 130 verse 6, read the whole chapter and then read just verse 6. But yeah. Um I do want to say being in the frequency of gratitude is very important at this time. Like if you feeling like you don't know what you're gonna do in your situation, like you down to your last or hell, you ain't got no more. Um Definitely trust God, and it's very important to be in a state of gratitude and a frequency of gratitude. So, what I've been doing is creating my own affirmation rampages on a total different YouTube channel. I create them for myself, but I definitely welcome whoever watched this video to go check that channel out, like and subscribe. When I would listen to my own gratitude affirmation rampage the other day, I literally in that same moment, God led me to some clarity that I needed, like in that same moment, like because I had put myself into that frequency of gratitude. So we gonna get through it, y'all. Ashe.